Hey guys, it's Edrian Pangilinan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if this is your first time, please do consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe button and the notif bell to be part of the family. So, I'm running out of breath at the moment because, well, I'm currently on my run/walk, my 8-mile run pilgrimage. So anyways, I went on Instagram. I want to ask y'all some questions regarding anything creative, creative tips or advices that you guys are interested about. So for today's video, it will be a mixture of a life update/creative Q&A. Let's get started. So the first question is by fitness.wealth, and his question is, how do you plan out your videos? Okay, so how do I go on about this? Well, initially, I just remember making a list, a very, very long list of like free flow ideas of the topics, and I just kept writing, and then I eventually started working on narrowing it down. Narrowing my list. Narrowing it down. There you go, if I can say that correctly. So, but then, because of that, then I actually really had a lot of content already. Just another thing that I wanted to add was also I started thinking about questions that I'm curious about as well, and content that I would like to be seen. So I think those are the several things that I have in terms of how I create my content. And actually Trello is really helpful in organizing all those notes. So if you haven't heard of Trello, running out of breath, sorry. So if you haven't heard of Trello, I would really suggest using it. So yeah, thank you so much for asking. Okay, so the next question is by my friend Nikki. Hi Nikki of Arambulo Live. And her question is, what is your favorite video? Well, out of the 65 something videos that I've done within this whole year, or uploaded actually, because I have like 15 more videos and counting that I still yet have to upload. So that's actually maybe over 80 videos then. For me personally, since I get so emotionally attached in a lot of the works, there's a fly on me. Since I easily become emotionally attached to all the works that I create, I think it becomes harder for me to just stick to one. But if I were to stick to one, it would really be my New York City subway dance video that I did back in March at 2:30 in the morning. At 2:30 in the morning, we were actually about to go home from our long day of shenanigans. Fun times with my New York friends, and we're all dancers, and we've actually been wanting to dance the whole day, and we didn't get a chance to do it up until right before we left, or we were about to leave. So I was like, you know what, screw this, let's just dance. And my friend John Harris, if you're watching, shout out, much love to you guys. Titus, Q, Madeline on the East Coast.
No, it's a video, just kidding.
Bitch ass motherfucker.
He grabbed the camera and was like, here, let me take care of this. And I was like, okay, I trust you. And then voila, there was that. And I think for me, it really had to take a lot of me being in the moment and trusting myself to be in the moment. And that's why I love seeing that video, because it's like, that is such a reminder and affirmation of what you can really do, what we can really do once we just really put ourselves out there and really try not to let fear stop us. So that's the answer to your question. So thank you for asking. Love you. So the next question is, y'all, I'm running out of breath. Have I told you that I have asthma? I feel like not a lot of people know about it, but well, now you know. So the next question is from Savinista Maria. Hi, thank you for asking. Her question is, what do I use to edit my videos? And I've been using Adobe Premiere Pro for a very long time, but the one that I'm using specifically is just the 2017 version. I feel like a lot of these versions are very doable anyways, regardless of what year it is. But I'd say if you're looking for a very affordable and economically priced video program, I would go with Final Cut Pro, and this is not sponsored. And the reason why I say that is because Adobe started charging monthly versus allowing you to buy their whole package. So if you're planning to use it in the long run, you'd be paying way more money to have a monthly subscription than just to buy the whole program. So I would definitely say Final Cut Pro for that. Thank you for asking. Okay, so let me check out the next questions. I'll be right back. Okay, so back to the next set of questions. So we have a question by my friend Angelica Santo Domingo, little_miss_whimsy, and her question is, how do you find balance between your work, creative work, and self-care? That's a really good question, actually. Well, just a little brief summary of my life work schedule, or schedule in general. So my day job as a caregiver for people with special needs, I work from Friday until Monday, and they're normally 8-hour jobs, but a lot of times I have to, or it could be that I would have to work double shifts, 16 hours. There was this one time I did a straight 32-hour shift continuously. So within that 4 days to 5 days, even if I had to pick up another shift on Tuesday following day, I can usually work up to 40 to 60 hours in those 4 to 5 days. So with that being said, then my normal day offs are from Tuesday through Thursday, and that actually gives me more than enough time to rest. What I do on Tuesdays, if I'm not working, usually is I will allow myself to sleep in, since my work usually requires me to wake up first thing in the morning to work first thing at 7 in the morning. So I usually give myself the first day off to just sleep in and then allow my body to kind of reset back to its natural rhythm, even though I still will usually wake up early. And then what I will do is I will give myself between those day offs the 2 to 3 days to run. So like what I'm doing right now, I'm currently on a walk and a run for about 8 miles. Whether I decide to run it or not, I have made it my goal to just do this on my day off, because then it really allows me to help deal with my morning. It really allows to help me deal with all the stress of being a social worker. And then also on the side, I do photography, I do creative work, which I'm able to do too as a part of my work, my day job, because I have a lot of downtime. So, when I have those downtimes, I just work on that. I'm not sure if I really said that concisely, but I'm just really glad that I, post-grad, almost 2 years after post-grad, I have finally started to find a balance between my day job, my creative work, and self-care, which is actually me right now as I'm recording this. So, I think the last thing I want to say about that is, if you really want to make things happen, you just got to make it happen. And the first step is usually the hardest. My hand hurts. So the first step is usually the hardest, but once you find the balance and once you get it going, you'll be okay. So thank you for asking. Okay, so the next question is by Bryce B. Johnson. Good morning.
Good morning.
Bryce B. Johnson, and his question is, what does being a creative mean to you? Another awesome and loaded question right there. I think for me, my experiences with being of being someone who's, I guess, a creative person, is, I think, giving myself the permission to just create, to express. Like what I was telling my friend Rich last night, I am someone that doesn't always consider themselves good with words. So that's why I just create, because then I can more express myself through the art that I'm creating, whether that is through creating videos, photography, content creation through YouTube or Instagram, or even just writing. Actually, I love writing, I love blogging. That's my first love. But just to wrap up what I'm saying, I think being a creative to me really means giving yourself the permission to express yourself, because I feel like a lot of times we go through stuff in life where we end up suppressing it, and we actually don't give ourselves the permission to deal with it, and it just ends up being bottled in, and then in the long run we become jaded, resentful, and all that fun stuff. So I say just let it out. Okay, let me see if I can remember the next question. The next question is... Do I remember the next question? Oh wait, I remember a couple of questions by my friend Marissa. So, well, we're gonna go with Marissa's question. So Marissa, May Rocks, thank you for asking too. Her question is, what is your, who is your dream collab? Well, I don't really consider myself someone that has a favorite collab, but more so experiences for me, really. But to answer your question, if I were to choose one, do I have a person? Good morning. So if I were to choose one, I'm still not sure if I can think of anything on the top of my mind right now. Do I have anyone? Actually, no, I guess I can't think of one. Because for me, I don't necessarily confine and limit myself to just like what is available on YouTube. I think for me, I'm just really more so looking for experiences and documenting that. So hopefully that answers your question. And for your follow-up question, it would be, so what is my next dream project? And you would know about this because we actually just finished, oops, let me go. Let me run. So the next project would be, well, because we just did the Brady Bunch project for their 50th anniversary, which will already be up. So, link on the iCard up here. So just cross the street. So I think for me, my next dream project, as of now, for me to create more LGBT shorts, because that's really where my first love is. And according to YouTube and according to my analytics performances, my top two videos are actually my LGBT shorts, and their flight is currently at 92,000 views.
I'm Philip. Damon. It's been a long night. I never sleep well.
With Hey Man being 57,000.
There's something I need to tell you.
What's up?
This is kind of hard for me to say.
You can always tell me anything.
Well, I think...
Wait, are you still embarrassed about what happened earlier at the store?
What happened earlier? What are you talking about? Wait, no, Charlie, there's something I have to get off my chest.
Plus 50, almost 150. So, okay, so both of those films all together, short films all together, round up to almost 150,000 views all together. And I think for me, I just really had fun creating those, expressing the story that I want to express as a person in the LGBT community. And I just want to I just want to be able to keep creating more works like that. So that would be definitely on my next dream project list. So okay, so we have the last three questions, and the first one would be from Nichelle, and her question is, how do you get yourself to exercise when you are depressed? Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for opening up about your depression, because even in that, you're giving me the permission to also open up about my own depression as well. And actually, like what I told you when I immediately responded back to your DMs when you asked that question, was to just do it. But objectively, just doing it sometimes can also be a little bit finicky, because especially when you're depressed, you're already like, okay, just do it, but do what? You know? And for me, I think I would say about that is doing something, taking baby steps. And for me, I have a love and hate relationship with running. Even though it's been hot the whole summer, I've actually like started pushing myself to just, well, first of all, I amped up my route from 4.8 miles altogether to 8 miles. So that's a lot. So in the beginning, that was very challenging, but I also found love in the struggle of doing this. So, going back to the original question, I think just find something that works within your means, and also just starting and giving yourself the permission to just grow through it, instead of immediately thinking that that you need to be perfect, that it needs to fall into place together instantly. I wish I could say life works like that, but it doesn't. You have to grow through it. You have to work through it. Just move your body. That's what it is, honestly, at this point, because I also believe that someone who's very frenetic and someone that deals with a lot of internal sadness, I really find that moving, just moving always, helps me with my endorphins, with my my blood circulating physically, it really does help you at the end of the day. So whatever you decide to do, I'm all for it. I'm cheering for you and we love you, okay? So the second to the last question is by my friend Carla Rihanna, just kidding. So the next question is, how do you find the time to improve on a creative skill set when you're busy? Hopefully I remember that. Let me think about that for a second. So I feel that well, first of all, I'd just like to say that I guess I do really have a busy schedule, but I think it's really about being strategic with your time and schedule, because like in one of the past questions, I talked about my current life schedule, how I work during the weekends, and then during the 3 days off, I'm juggling between resting, self-care, content creation. I think it's really different for everyone, and I wish I could say that there was like one set formula for this, but I think the first thing that comes to mind is really making time for it, even if it means waking up super early right before you go to work, or getting into it as soon as you get home from work, even though you'll be tired. But that actually also reminds me too, when I first started off my YouTube channel, how I used to listen to a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk's videos and podcasts. He would just talk about how if you're really passionate about something, you'll just make it work, whether you're tired from your 9-to-5 job and just going straight through it and working from 5 till 2 in the morning to make it happen, to just basically what I'm saying is I would just really encourage you to find a pocket of time in your day that I feel like would really work with your schedule, and just starting off from there, and also from there growing from there. So even if you can only put an hour, I would say 2 hours every single day after work to learn, to focus on this creative skill set that you want to grow, and then that's actually really good. Be consistent, be consistent as well. Like even if you can only do 2 hours, every day after work, if you work 5 days a week, then that's already 10 hours a week you're already dedicating to creative, I can't talk. So that's already 10 hours a week of already dedicating time to, learning. And then times 4 times a month, times 4 weeks in a month, then that's already 40 hours in a month. 40 hours, that's already a full work week for you. Then, that really adds up. So that's all I want to say about that. So thank you for asking. Okay. And then the last question is, how do you find your, so how do you find your voice, your style, when creating something and not going with the trends, by Armandina? I'm sure I butchered up the question. But you know what? I actually think it's okay to create something that everyone is doing as long as you're passionate about it. Because really, why not, And then also, I've always believed that no art is ever original and no art is ever owned by anyone. I think what you can do to make it your own is to give it your own voice, to pour your passion into it, to pour your love and your insights into the content that you're creating. And I just think at the end of the day, there's no just one formula into, you know, content creation, because no art is ever original. It's really about your twist, your voice, your spin into all of this. That is when you really start making it your own. So, whew, I'm out of breath, y'all. Oh, the lighting's bad. Okay, I'm running out of breath. But I just wanted to say thank you all so much for oh wait, I forgot about my life updates. I always forget to do that. Okay, so going to the life updates. Going to the life updates section. Going to the life update section of this. So I just really feel like these last 2 months or so after the CSU Summer Arts program, where I went back to dance for 2 weeks, as you will be seeing in a future vlog, hopefully in November. That's the goal, in November. Should be no later than that. I really feel like that's when my life started shifting significantly for the better. That's when opportunities started falling into place. That's when I started experiencing more growth again. You know, like with any growth, any changes comes with its own, I guess baggage. You know, you grow and you allow yourself to be vulnerable and open up, and it doesn't always necessarily feel nice. Sometimes you're left with such, sometimes you feel like you are left open, like an open sore, and sometimes it's about learning how to heal through that then you allow yourself to finally start moving forward again. And I just really feel like these last couple of weeks specifically has been so much win specifically. I've done a lot of content creation collabs for my channel. I've worked a lot of hours on my work, finding balance in my working out like this, even vlogging while I'm running, spending time with my family, and ultimately even having the time to just, be able to sit in my own thoughts and reflect on how I'm doing, how I can improve myself, and I think ultimately how I can be a better person. Because I just really feel like, yes, in social media, everyone talks about, or everyone only showcases the beautiful side, the beautiful highlights of their lives, but no one ever really talks about the other side of it, the not so glamorous side of life. And I think I really want to start challenging myself to grow through doing this, to open up myself, to allow y'all to see me really how I am too. Because I think the last thing I want to say about that is not always, I think the last thing I want to say about that is not every day is a good day, but as long as there is, and every day there's always something good in it. And I'm pretty sure I still butchered that saying, but I think I just ultimately want to give you all the permission to just experience life, experience your journey, own your journey, don't suppress it, allow yourself to grow, face your inner demons, and learn from it, because then I think that is really the only way we're ever able to mature, instead of getting older and still being the same person that we are. Never haven't really given ourselves the permission to deal with a lot of our traumas and healings that we need to do. Good morning. So yeah, that is it. Can't believe I did this. So I just wanted to say thank you all so much for watching the video. I've been vlogging in public with people around me as I'm running or just walking, but I just wanted to say thank you all so much for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just always remember, I love you guys. Bye.